want to welcome my good friend, the United States Trade Representative Ambassador Katherine Tai to USDA for an opportunity to have a conversation about one of our favorite subjects, which is trade. The ambassador has traveled literally all over the world multiple times on behalf of so many of American industries, but I think she has a special place in her heart for agriculture. We appreciate the job that she and Ambassador McCaleb have done. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Secretary Vilsack. I'm so pleased to be here with you, and you're absolutely right. Trade and ag trade in particular are some of my favorite things to talk about.
Well, first of all, I think it's always important to recognize how significant agricultural trade has been in the last couple of years. Records have been set over the last 3 years, so certainly 2023 was a record-setting year. But for me, I think what was important is a new opportunity that we created as a result of a creative use of the Commodity Credit Corporation resources. We've established a regional agricultural promotion program, and it's really designed to focus on maybe some of the second-tier ag market opportunities. You know we do a lot of trade with China, with Mexico, with Canada, but where's the other opportunity? How do we diversify? As you well know, you've traveled and you talked to many countries. Tremendous opportunity in Southeast Asia, tremendous opportunity in other parts of the world. So establishing this billion-dollar commitment to provide resources to expand promotion, expand presence, expand opportunities in these second and third tier countries, I think would probably be the most important thing that happened in 2023 from our perspective in terms of ag trade.
For 2023, I'm really also proud of the work that you and I have done together, our teams have done together on diversifying the way that we do trade, looking for strategic opportunities to open markets. India, for example, building on a traditionally quite difficult relationship with India and finding motivation so that over the course of 2023, we won more market access into India and the lowering of tariffs for a whole bunch of different kinds of nuts, walnuts, pecans, almonds, for turkey and for duck, for cranberries, for blueberries. And each one of these is a good story. It is about sharing with the rest of the world the bounty that our incredibly hardworking and savvy farmers produce, and also diversifying our relationships with the markets around the world.
Well, you not only travel around the world, you also travel, as you mentioned, around the country. And I know that you've done that because I was recently in Colorado. And the folks with the Bison Association came up to me and were very proud to display a picture of you among the bison, which I thought was quite brave of the trade representative to do that. You looked pretty comfortable around those critters, and good for you for doing it.
Our consumers are in such a strong position that they have spent more on agricultural products, including on imports. And then also because of the strength of the U.S. economy, the strength of the U.S. dollar, that has impacted the balance in terms of imports and exports. Is that also what you're seeing? Because you were much closer to the dynamics.
Absolutely. I mean, a stronger U.S. economy generates a lot of activity and a lot of opportunity for our consumers. Unemployment rate at a historic low, unemployment below 4% for an extended period of time. We haven't seen this for 50 years. Real wages coming up, which allows families to have just a bit more in the pocket. Grocery prices now beginning to come down. The inflation rate very consistent with pre-pandemic levels for many of the grocery items. So that gives folks the ability to be a bit more aggressive, if you will, in the grocery store and more choices. And that's one of the aspects of trade that I think sometimes people don't fully appreciate. When you've got choice, there's competition. When you have competition, you usually have a better shake for the consumer. So that's important. And you mentioned a record year. You know, that wasn't just an outlier. The fact is the last 3 years have been record years for ag exports, and in fact have also been a record year for net cash farm income. Well, my staff keeps track of how many trips I take. Last year, I think it was 53 and 5 international trips. So I would anticipate that there'll probably be even a greater number of trips domestically. because there is a lot to talk about. We're in the process of trying to get a farm bill through the Congress. That's going to have an impact on trade. It's going to have an impact on farms. We're trying to create a better understanding of this issue of the number of farms we've lost and the farmland we've lost over the course of the last 40 years. Because we put so much focus on production and not as much focus on the profitability side, particularly for small and mid-sized producers. And that's one of the reasons why when we did this trade promotion opportunity with the CCC I mentioned earlier, we decided to identify about $100 million of that resource and shift it into a specific program for specialty crop producers and to allow them to get more engaged and more aggressive in the trade area. We think there's tremendous opportunity for what we grow and what we raise in terms of specialty crops, fruits and vegetables that the rest of the world would like to have and should have. So I'm excited about that opportunity, and that may lead to a chance to visit. When we reopened the market in Mexico for sour potatoes, well, that was something that hadn't been done for 15 years. When we convinced Japan and convinced other countries to take a look at renewable energy and renewable fuels, opening up new opportunities for ethanol, that's a big deal. Tariffs being reduced in some of the smaller countries that open up terrific opportunities for our specialty crops. So these singles and doubles don't get necessarily the headlines, but for the family farmer who is dependent on a strong, stable market, and when 30% of what we grow and raise can in any one year be exported to the rest of the world, it's a big deal. And it is also an opportunity, I think, to reinforce sort of the American brand of excellence, of safety, of innovation. And so having a partner at USTR really makes my job a lot easier, and I really appreciate that we have such a strong partnership.